Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another learning space. Remember, we are still taking you through everything that you need to know about AIESEC and how you're going to easily be able to settle in as a member. The knowledge that you're receiving here and the knowledge that you're receiving right now is very instrumental and essential in your journey as an AIESEC member. Remember, knowledge is power. So when you know, then you're able to execute. And when you're able to execute, then you're able to engage with us fully. So tag along, and I hope that you can enjoy this session. In this session, we're going to be talking about the organizational structure of AIESEC, and we're going to be looking at some of the key things or elements that are part of our structure. So we are going to start off. Before we dive right deep into our structure, I want to share with us a quick reminder. Remember, AIESEC is a membership development, or is a leadership development organization rather. And at the end of the day, it's basically an opportunity for any young person to develop their leadership qualities and to be able to live to their fullest potential through the different platforms that we provide them. Again, it is important to remember that we work with young people who are between the ages of 18 to 30. So those are the people that we consider as youth in our organization, and that's the cohort of people that we will always engage with at the end of the day. At the end of it all, as a member who has just joined AIESEC, you're going to be able to develop hard and soft skills. And these, at the end of the day, are going to be able to empower you and improve on your leadership capabilities. Most importantly, the practical experiences that you're going to get through the different departments, which we'll talk about in the next video. The personal development that you're going to go through is also very, very key and highlights to what is going to take course in your AIESEC journey. Working in a multicultural environment, because right now we live in a global village and we are always working and relating with people that are around the world. Developing of your management skills through being team leaders and leading teams and projects is also something that you're going to enjoy along the journey. And networking opportunities, which are immense, not just within AIESEC and the membership that we have, but with companies, NGOs, organizations, fellow students. And you never know, these networks and relations that you build at the start can take you as far as you wish. Moving forward, who can, we have looked at who can be as an AIESEC member, and then we have also looked at some of the key things that you're going to get out of this journey. It's also important to note that there's particular criteria that you need to fulfill as an individual that is joining AIESEC. There's a common saying that we have here at AIESEC. We say that AIESEC is for everyone, but not for everyone. Meaning that at the end of the day, it's all about you to put in the effort that you need in order to be able to maximize the opportunities that we have here in the organization. This is an opportunity that is open to all young people, but not everybody will be able to appreciate it the way they should. And not everybody will be able to maximize the opportunity the way they should, which is unfortunate at the end of the day. However, it's important to also note that this organization that you're joining and the work that you're going to be doing here is all about you and it is for you. So never think at any one point of time that you're doing it for your team leader or you're doing it for another member. No, this journey and this opportunity is for you. So the better you fight for yourself, the better you work for yourself and make sure that you live the journey to your fullest, the more you will be able to reap out of it. So what part of the criteria that you need to meet is one, meeting and attending a minimum of 70% internal meetings. These are very critical and you'll see more about them as we go along. Attending a minimum of 50% of the local or national conferences. Now, some of you have just come back from the onboarding conference, the National Onboarding Conference, and I want to send a shout out to you. It doesn't stop here. You have to continue attending all the conferences that are organized at AIESEC. Why? Because this is the opportunity to reconnect with your organization, to have a fun time, to network even more, but most importantly, to remind yourself of why you joined the organization at the very start. Because we know that why can sometimes fizzle away. And you need to be reminded once in a while why you're actually still in AIESEC. Another thing is that another criteria you're going to have to meet is applying the working hours according to the job descriptions that has been set out to you by your team leader. Yes, at AIESEC, we do work and we have time that we set aside for ourselves to be able to work. So at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you can fulfill this commitment up to the very end as per the guidelines downscaled to you by your team leader. Ensuring compliance with the AIESEC Code of Ethics and AIESEC Portfolio internal policies is also part of the criteria that you're going to have to meet. And you will get to learn more about them in the subsequent videos. Having said that, we are going to continue. And the next thing I want to share with you is that, as we have already said, AIESEC is for everyone and for everyone. But it's also important to remember that AIESEC is by the youth and for the youth. So you're going to find that most of the people you're working with are young people. These are team leaders that are also leading you, but you'll also find that you're also leading another team. So as I've already shared earlier, but also emphasize, this is an opportunity for you to find your full potential through the projects and the work that we're going to be doing. Most importantly, it's an opportunity for you to also be able to make impact at the end of the day. Again, you will get more in-depth details in the subsequent videos. More so, it's also a time for you to gain lifelong connections. I can't stress that enough because that's what this community has allowed me to also benefit from. Now, you joined AIESEC and you had expectations for yourself. And I hope that you can still reflect back to those expectations and look back to them and actually get reminded of why you joined AIESEC and why it is still relevant to you at the moment, or why you're still actually staying for this journey. So in this part or in this slide, you'll just read more about the emphasis that we place on some of the key things that you should not miss out on some of the key things that are very critical along your journey. Please do not overlook them and read them a little bit more in detail, as the slide will be provided to you. So going back into our organizational structure. AIESEC is an organization that has hierarchy, and we have a way that we are able to run and lead our teams at the end of the day. Now, that hierarchical arrangement helps you to also find where you settle in fit and to also know how best you can be able to access all the services and access all the necessary material or information that you may need at the end of the day. So I'm going to quickly take us through the AIESEC structure, and I hope at the end of it all, you see where you as a member, you are placed in this organization. So to start with, we have what we call the local committee. And the local committee is basically the management structure that you find at your university level. So everyone comes from a particular university that we are already affiliated to or attached to. We have people from AIESEC in Chambogo. Hey, guys. From UC, huge. Hello there. From AIESEC in MOOPS. From AIESEC in Makerere. And also AIESEC in Cavendish with time. And other universities as we come along. So in these universities, the teams that are there, we call it a local chapter. So don't get confused when we say LC. It's either a local chapter or local committee. Those two words are used interchangeably. Okay. Now, a common structure that you'll find at the local chapter levels, and you'll already be part of some of these, is that we have what we call the LCP. And the LCP in full is the local committee president. The local committee president is basically like the CEO of your local committee, or the CEO or the representative, or, as I've said, the president of your local chapter. And at the end of the day, they are very instrumental in your journey. They are the ones that map out the vision of that particular local chapter, and they're the ones that implement that particular vision. At the end of the day, they are also very instrumental leaders. So they are leading a group of young people that they want to influence and be able to give a platform so that they can be able to achieve their fullest potential. Those young people are you as you're joining these universities. So currently, some of the local chapters local chapter presidents that we have in our universities are Martin from AIESEC in Makerere, shout out to you. Emily from AIESEC in Chambogo, shout out to you. Vanessa from AIESEC in UCU, whoop whoop. And we have Jackie from AIESEC in MOOPS. So wherever they are, please make sure that you know your local chapter. Under them, they have a support system. And this support system are the vice presidents. We usually abbreviate them as VPs or LCVPs. Now, these local chapter vice presidents are divided into the different departments that we have. Those departments, you're going to get to know a lot more about them in the next video. Now, these local chapter vice presidents include a VP OGV. OGV is Outgoing Global Volunteer. We also have VPs that are also in charge of IGV. a VP in charge of finance, a VP in charge of TM, and also VPs in charge of marketing. So these different VPs directly head the departments that you get to know about in the next video. Having said that, under the VPs, we have what we call the team leaders. Now, team leaders is abbreviated as TL, and these team leaders assist the work of the VPs. So they also have different job descriptions, and they have different tasks that are assigned to them by the VPs. And another team leader is you, the most important person in this organization, our member. And that is how you're coming into this organization. So as a member, you work directly under the TL, or what we call the team leader. And under the team leader directly reports and works under the VP of a particular department. And the VP directly works and reports back to the local chapter president. So you see, that's how the local chapter structure looks like, of which you are already part of. Please note that I'll be happy to see you sometime in future taking up higher roles as you go up in the hierarchy. Today you're a member, tomorrow you can become a team leader. The other day you can become a VP, and before you know it, you're a local chapter president. The only difference is that you need to have worked so hard for it. And you need to work hard to be able to earn it. It will require sacrifice and commitment. However, the journey is worthwhile and fulfilling. So take your shot and make sure that you can work up to see that you can take on as many leadership experiences as possible, such that you can climb higher in the hierarchy. All right, so we will continue. And moving further, already, as I've shared with you the departments, these are the particular departments and extensively explained in this slide. Again, you'll get an in-depth understanding of these departments in the next video. So don't worry, but just take a read. All right, yes, the departments are basically split into front office and back office. Now, having said that, we also have what we call the general structure at AIESEC. We have looked at the local chapter structure. However, above that local chapter structure, we also have another structure that is very, very instrumental. So some of the structures that we have, one is what we call the MC. The MC is the member committee, the member committee structure. And under the member committee structure, this is like the national office of AIESEC in Uganda. It's the one that manages all the LCs in the country. So at the end of the day, all LCs are under the MC team. So the MC team is based in Kampala, Uganda. Our offices are at MUBS, ex-Amule building. Our residence is in Chireka. And so you're able to locate us there. Some of you have been able to pass by the AIESEC house already and continue passing by. We are happy to engage with you, and we are happy to talk to you, and we are happy to share and laugh and learn from you as you learn from us. Now, the member committee is led by the MCP, and the MCP in full is member committee president. That is myself. I'm the current MCP of AIESEC in Uganda, as you may already know, and as I would have already introduced to you guys during the NOC and also during physical touch points. Now, I, as MCP, I am supported by a team of vice presidents. And in our structure, we call these MCVPs. MCVPs in full is member committee vice presidents. These MCVPs are also in charge of different departments at the end of the day. Above that structure, we have what we call the regional office. It may not have been added here, but just pardon me, I'll be able to add it in the slides. We have what we call the member committee, I beg your pardon. We have what we call the AIESEC regional office. Now, our regional office is MIA, and MIA in full is Middle East and Africa. That is where AIESEC in Uganda happens to belong. Okay, that's our region. And so the regional office is also headed by a regional director, or RD. Okay, and that regional director is also assisted by what we call regional managers. Currently, our regional director sits in Montreal, Canada. That's where he is based. And then our regional managers are also spread around the world, but we usually connect with them virtually and sometimes during conferences that we have at the regional level. Having said that, above the regional office, we have what we call AIESEC International. AIESEC International is abbreviated as AI, and AI is led by the president of AIESEC International, and that is abbreviated as PAI. So PAI is the president of AIESEC around the world. Imagine the president of more than 110 countries that AIESEC currently exists in. His name is Chester Sham, and he started his term in January. Okay, so he is the current PAI of AIESEC globally. Under him, he also has vice presidents that head different departments. Those ones are called AIVPs. In full, that means AIESEC International Vice Presidents. They are quite a number, but yes, they do exist. Now, at the end of the day, every member, every person that is part of AIESEC has the opportunity and the platform to climb up the ladder and be able to experience this organization through its entire hierarchy. Now, there's another part of a structure that I will share with you. And this is usually the national support boards. And these national support boards are like subcommittees. We have what we call the ethics subcommittee, the ECB subcommittee, that's the entity control board, and so many others. These subcommittees are just here to make sure that all our systems and processes are adhered to, and that at the end of the day, we are able to deliver our services to the full and best of our potential. So these national support teams are independent, and they are there to make sure that everything that we do in the organization is lawfully done. All right, having said that, again, part of our structures, we have what we call the AIESEC portfolios, or these are like internal policies that we work with. You will read through these and you will get to know a bit about them. Those are like the structures that we have, what we call the AIPP, the APIP, sorry, and so much more. These are just part of the policies that we run here at AIESEC. And again, they help us to run our systems and processes extensively well. Other than that, these are some of the AIESEC internal policies that you can also be able to have access to, such that you can get to read more about them and see how they fit into our processes at the end of the day. All right, thank you for listening to me. I hope that you're enjoying your learning space as we get to talk about AIESEC and as you get to know more about what we do as an organization. In case of any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to your team leaders at the local chapter level. Remember, we said your LCPs are there, your LCVPs are also there, and your team leaders. Or feel free to reach out to any AIESECer that you would have been able to get in touch with. Otherwise, I hope that you've picked out one or two details that can give you a better understanding of what we do as an organization. Thank you and enjoy the next video.